Through this video, you're gonna gain a thorough understanding of what Kundalini is and what it means to have a Kundalini awakening. And also why it matters. Like, what does this mean to you and how can you apply it to your life? I'm gonna get through all of this. But first I want you to imagine the life of a caterpillar, okay? Just a caterpillar sitting up in a tree branch somewhere, just eating a leaf or something, okay? This caterpillar can only see what's directly in front of it. But then comes a point in its development where it decides that it's time to go inside a little cocoon. It goes inside this cocoon, this period of darkness where it completely breaks down. It goes through a major change. Finally, it emerges into this world, into this life as a new beautiful creature, yet also as one and the same with the caterpillar. This butterfly begins fluttering its wings and takes flight and seeing the world from a completely new perspective. It starts having a greater appreciation and beauty towards the planet that it was on and a much, much wider worldview than it ever could as a caterpillar. It's not that the caterpillar is, not beautiful or substandard or not enough or not worthy. It's just that the divine creator or the divine infinite didn't mean for the caterpillar to just stay in its current condition for its whole life. And the same goes for us. The divine infinite loves us all way too much to just leave us in our present state. We are put on this planet to evolve our soul. From one perspective, you can say that the caterpillar is doing all the change. But from another perspective, you can say that the process of nature is just being done onto the caterpillar. The caterpillar is just allowing the metamorphosis to be done through him. And so that's what Kundalini energy is.
You never see anything in its totality because it is made up of layer upon layer of vibration, and it is constantly changing, exchanging information with Akasha. A tree is drinking in the sun, the air, the rain, the earth. A world of energy moves in and out of this thing we call a tree. When the thinking mind is still, then you see reality as it is, all aspects together. The tree and the sky and the earth, the rain and the stars are not separate. Life and death, self and other, are not separate, just as the mountain and the valley are inseparable.
Kundalini energy is that evolutionary and transformative force that brings our being into existence. It can be awakened through spiritual practices or in response to life events that awaken the Kundalini energy, which normally lies dormant at the base of our spine, to awaken and spiral upwards, energizing our chakras. So Kundalini goes by many different names in almost all cultures in the world. It's represented as a coiled up snake and can be seen in nearly all religions. It's also known as sexual energy because it's the energy of creation, and Christians call it by a different name. They call it Holy Spirit. This life energy moves up the central nadis in the middle of the spine to energize the chakras, clearing you out and unlocking your evolutionary potential. So when this happens, you just start to gain a newfound awareness for the world, the different paradigms that people are in, a newfound awareness of the things that you put in your body. You can gain an awareness of life itself. That's why many people who go through an awakening often turn vegan, because they start viewing the transference of energy in a different way. For example, if an animal is in fear in a slaughterhouse right before it dies, they see it as that transference of fear gets passed on to them. Now that's just one way of seeing it. Not all vegans think like that. But you might also notice a change in your motivations, in your intentions. So maybe before you were motivated on accumulating as much things as possible, it's not that that motivation has gone, but it's maybe not as primary as motivation to help and serve others. You're beginning to change on a spiritual level. Just like how people change on a physical level during puberty. When you're going through a Kundalini awakening, it's almost like your soul is going through puberty. You also might get a newfound awareness of yourself, of your own behaviors and tendencies, certain childhood events that shape the way that you are. You might also just start losing interest in things that are no longer serving you. People can experience total inner chaos when they're going through an awakening sometimes. You might experience unbearable pain before you go through that transformation. You may also experience a paradigm shift, which is when your view of reality just gets completely blown out. This happens when you get exposed to radically new concepts. It's almost as if the curtains have been peeled back, or you've been given a new set of eyes in which to see the world. Because understand that you're not actually perceiving reality. You are simply perceiving a projection of reality that's being filtered by your thoughts and your other senses, and also your reticular activating system, which I recommend you search up. It's really important. But all of this is being filtered through your experiences. And so, because a Kundalini awakening is altering your whole mental and spiritual worlds, the way that you view life itself completely changes. This is the same energy that allows a flower to bloom, to grow with its own inner intelligence, its own self-organizing direction. And this pattern can be found everywhere in nature, because you have to understand, Kundalini is smarter than us. It is billions of years older than us. It is the central creative force of the entire universe. So despite what people think, it's actually not possible to force a Kundalini awakening. When it happens, it happens. It's happening because it's the right time. You can't really force a Kundalini awakening to happen. However, many people say that you can speed up the process through different spiritual practices. There's different types of yoga and meditation, such as Kundalini yoga, and also retaining your semen. Because Kundalini is also sexual energy. So if your energy is going towards creating more sperm and more eggs, then it's not enough to create a rising in your Kundalini energy. You can also awaken your Kundalini by flipping your attention inward instead of a focus on the external world. Because you have to understand, Kundalini is the energy of change and evolution. Our thinking, logical minds is always driving us towards stability and security. We are always trying to occupy our minds with thinking or some other stimulus, which is in direct opposition of what Kundalini is, because Kundalini is the energy of change and evolution. By focusing your attention inside, you allow that Kundalini to grow and bloom. Thinking only leads to more thinking, and we are always thinking of ideas of ways to fix the world, problems that only exist because the mind created them. Most of our problems stem from the fact that we lost connection to our inner worlds. Joseph Campbell once said that, I don't believe people are looking for the meaning of life as much as they're looking for the experience of being alive. And so I'm gonna end this video with that quote. And I hope you guys understood a base understanding of what Kundalini is, because I'll be building on this idea in future episodes. So thank you so much for watching, and make sure you like and subscribe, because we're only gonna get more deep from here. Peace out.